I usually like to start sessions with lay people by beginning with a meditation. Consciously, deliberately clarifying mindfulness, this awareness. So usually our awareness gets scattered, gets a bit fuzzy, various things that we attend to. And so the practice of meditation is taking time to collect the mind. In a way, it's like distilling the awareness and bringing it back within the parameters of the body and within the present moment. I think probably a lot of people in Australia, a place like Australia, probably wake up and turn on the television and eat their breakfast and look at the television and maybe check their email on their smartphone as well. That's probably a very common suburban wake up. And if you have a look at what occurs when you do that, your mind is going out in many different directions. And because your home is very comfortable, sometimes a little bit of painful sensations can be helpful for keeping you in your body. In a way, the middle way, this not sleeping on higher luxurious beds is one of the precepts. If you take the 8 precepts, there's a reason for these kind of things that keep the mind a little bit awake. But I'm sure most of you have very comfortable beds. And I've been enjoying the bathroom and the heater in the Buddhist Society. You just press the button and you get the temperature that you want. And where we were at the monastery just before we left, it was 36 degrees. And there were no buttons to press. And so these kind of practicing with a little bit of dukkha vedana, it's called, pleasant, unpleasant feelings, is actually helpful for mindfulness. And too much comfort tends to make the mind a little bit dull. And too much entertainment tends to make the mind distracted. And so I think even before listening to Dhamma reflection, I think it's important to just close the eyes and try to feel your body, kind of feeling your bottom, touching the mat, touching the cushion. I'm just aware that you're sitting in the sitting posture. And then coming to the top of the head, and just aware of the feelings on the skin, in that area where the hair is. Just try to feel the body, the top of the head, and then include the face. So often on the skin there's a lot of what we call neutral feelings. Sometimes a little bit of tingling, a little bit of itching. But there are actually a lot of feelings there we don't really notice. We only notice feelings once they impinge past a certain point. But training ourselves in mindfulness, trying to be aware of the more neutral feelings as well, which is a way of keeping the awareness in the body. So aware of the face and including the ears. And then down over the neck, just aware. And then the upper part of the shoulders. And then bring the awareness to be aware of feelings on the chest area, just on the surface of the skin. You might find it's a bit warmer. The neck's a bit cool, down under your sweater. Probably a bit warm, and just aware of the feelings. Down over the stomach, abdomen, lower abdomen area. Coming back up to the top of the shoulders. bringing that awareness to be aware of the upper part of the back, middle part of the back, lower part of the back. And back up to the right shoulder. And just becoming aware of the feelings over the upper arm, bicep, tricep, that area. Down over the shoulder, the elbow. Lower arm, the wrist, the palm and the back of the hand, the right hand. And feeling that hand pressing in your lap or pressing against your other hand, just aware of the feelings. And bringing the awareness now to the left shoulder. And do the same thing, moving that awareness down over the upper arm. And just aware of the sensations. There might be a little tickling, a little bit of itching, a lot of neutral sensations. And then the elbow, lower arm, and the left palm, and the top part of the left hand. Just feeling, is it pressing against your lap or your hand? A little bit of pressure, where the one part of the body presses against another part of the body. Just aware of those feelings. Moving from there to be aware of the feeling of your bottom pressing against the mat or the cushion, the seat. Feeling that pressure. Moving your awareness down your right thigh, over the right knee, down over the lower part of the right leg, the ankle, and then including the whole foot, the right foot. And then go back to the awareness of your bottom, sitting. Moving that awareness down the left leg, over the thigh, the upper leg. The left knee. And down over the lower part of the left leg. Left ankle. And then the entire foot, the left foot. And now I'm just aware of that feeling, that consciously feeling the body in the sitting posture. Training in mindfulness, Lord Buddha instructs us to know the postures, and know when you're walking, know when you're sitting, know when you're standing. And now we're going to move the awareness to be aware of the breathing. With the breathing, there are physical sensations, starting at the nose, moving down through the chest area, the lungs, into the abdomen as the diaphragm expands and contracts. So with breath meditation, you just try to know the feeling of the natural breath as it is, and sometimes it can be helpful to take a couple of deep breaths just to notice those feelings and set the intention to be aware of them. And then similarly, try to be aware of the feelings of the out-breath. So, knowing the feelings at the nose, chest and abdomen. And knowing the feelings at the abdomen, chest, nose. Can be helpful to count if there's a lot of thinking or if there's a lot of sleepiness. I sometimes encourage people to note 1 at the nose, 2 at the chest, 3 at the abdomen. 1, 2, 3 on the in-breath. 3, 2, 1, the out-breath. Just trying to know the feelings as they are, moment by moment. And you can use that counting as a way to help. It restrains the mind from thinking, and it reminds us where we're placing the attention. Nose, chest, abdomen, 1, 2, 3. Abdomen, chest, nose, 3, 2, 1. Sometimes suggest with the breath energy coming in, waking up, kind of arriving in the moment. And on the out breath, putting things down. So if there has been a lot of thinking, a lot of distraction, so putting down the thoughts, placing the interest on the feelings of the breath, and noting 1 in-breath, 1, 2, 3. Out-breath, 3, 2, 1. When we come to the meditation, we're consciously trying to put thoughts down or not follow on with them. We're often in life we're thinking thoughts and following on with thoughts, and this thought leads to that thought, leads to this thought, and jumping around a lot. So in the breath meditation, taking the interest away from the thoughts, placing that interest on knowing more neutral physical feelings as a way of getting some space from and putting down all the thinking. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3. Breathing out, 3, 2, 1. In Thailand we train in using the word Buddho, so we can change the noting now from 1, 2, 3 to Buddho. 3, 2, 1 becomes Buddho. So still trying to know those feelings. And the reason we use this word, it reminds us of Buddha, Lord Buddha, awake, aware. Lord Buddha had perfect mindfulness and clear comprehension, understood things as they are, clearly, without ignorance and delusion. So that's what we're aspiring for. So this is a wonderful positive affirmation that reminds us of our intention, our goal. Breathing in, knowing those feelings, nose, chest, abdomen, Buddho. And breathing out, knowing those feelings, Buddho. It's a gentle, quiet mental recitation. Breathing in, Buddho. breathing out, Buddha. When the mind becomes a little more quiet, a little more collected, breathing in Bud, breathing out Do, quietening down this thinking energy, still using a little bit of conscious thinking to help restrain the mind, keep it within the body, within the present moment, to remind us of our meditation object, to be mindful of the breath, breathing in Bud, breathing out Do. After establishing the awareness on the breath, nose, chest, abdomen, abdomen, chest, nose, some people find it easier to be aware of the breath in just one of those places, in the area of the nose, or the area of the chest, or the area of the abdomen. So you can choose to be aware of it in one place, or continue to be aware of it in that broader space, whatever works, basically, wherever you can feel the breath most clearly. And wherever, if you've noticed, the mind becomes peaceful, more peaceful if you do it one particular way. Everybody's mind is slightly different. You have to try it and meditate quite a bit, see what works, and then stick with that in a way. So there's a certain period of time where you're experimenting, exploring, and then after a while you decide that something is good enough and then stick with that so that you don't have to doubt about the meditation object. You choose to be aware of it in all three places or in one of those places. Even if you're aware of the breath in just one of those places, there are different feelings occurring at the beginning, middle and end of an in-breath, beginning, middle and end of an out-breath, and so it's most helpful if you can be aware of as much of that experience as possible in terms of generating a clear present moment awareness. So trying to be aware of different feelings. With the nose you might notice the breath coming in is cooler, the breath coming out is warmer. In the abdomen there's a sense of expansion and then contraction. Just aware of those feelings, breathing in Bud, breathing out Do. one in breath, Put, knowing one out breath, Do. Using the breath meditation, bringing the mind to settle within the body, collect a little. Most people don't understand that when they think about the past, think about the future, think about other people, think about other places, that the mind actually flies out of the body in various directions and then comes back. It's very fast. And human beings tend to be quite restless. And whenever we do that, it dissipates the energy. Mindfulness gets a bit fuzzy. You notice that if you can just restrain the mind gently in the body, in the present moment, for a period of time, you start to feel more awake. There's more energy in the mind. Going to move into some metta practice now. So, having established awareness of the breathing, we're also going to use the breathing, wishing yourself well, in a way blessing your life, starting with your mind. I use these words, may I be well, may I be happy. So breathing in, make the wish, may I be well. Breathing out, wishing, may I be happy. Metta practice is very powerful, very important. You think about the various ways that human beings suffer. Often there's a feeling that the people that we think should have loved us didn't love us enough. People shouldn't have talked to us harshly in that way. Kids should have been more kind, husbands should have been more friendly, people should be more forgiving, the various hurt feelings that human beings have. And I think it's the case that if you have loving kindness for yourself well established, if other people aren't kind to you in moments, it doesn't matter as much because you have this kindness established for yourself. In a way, the lack of kindness of other people is their problem. You can leave it with them, you don't have to pick it up, you don't have to react. If you train to hold kindness, goodwill, friendliness, love in your own heart space, then it doesn't hurt so much when other people don't love you, so you can become more resilient in a healthy way. And you can actually nourish your own needs. This isn't taught in the modern world very much. We've grown up with almost a religion of consumerism, which has taught you that you are lacking. You need things from outside to fill the hole. No matter how much you have, it's never quite enough. You get something good, you've got to upgrade it again next year. This does affect the minds of modern people quite a lot. There's a bit of a hungry ghost mentality. You have so much stuff, it's never quite enough. Lots of good stuff, but you need to get something better. So once again, the metta practice can help establish a feeling of fullness, contentment, but we have to embrace it with some faith and with some sincerity, and you have to do it long enough to actually feel what's it like when you really generate loving kindness for yourself and hold it in your heart. So trying to do that now, breathing in, may I be well, breathing out, may I be happy. The human beings have this incredible potential to love. And it often gets channeled in quite restricted channels. Family, friends, romantic interests, celebrities. Lots of people love celebrities in the modern world. So bringing this capacity to love back into the very core of your conscious experience, and then opening that and holding that towards the perception of oneself, and having an experiment, feeling what's that like. Breathing in, may I be well. Breathing out, may I be happy. And holding that feeling of goodwill in your own heart center. Breathing out, may I be happy. Another thing I found very helpful, encourage people, is offering an attitude of acceptance of things the way they are, because many people have a lot of critical thoughts about themselves and others. The way of the habits that we pick up, act on. If we're critical of people outside and critical of things outside, that inevitably gets turned inwards. In our culture, there's a lot of criticism from everything, politics, government policies, even down to movies, music, food. Everybody has to have an opinion about it. What you like, what you don't like. And so we've all made a lot of karma with this discriminating mind that focuses on faults. And so as a balance to that, when you do the metta meditation, we just try to allow things to be exactly as they are, and you can use the breath. Breathing in, I allow my experience to be exactly as it is. Breathing out, may I be well, may I be happy. Breathing in, I lovingly accept this body and mind as it is now. Breathing out, may I be well, may I be happy. And just as an experiment, notice, how does that feel? You bring your capacity to be kind and friendly inside, the very core, the very center, and then hold it there with sincerity. Breathing in, I lovingly accept my situation, this body, this mind as it is right now. Breathing out, I offer friendliness, goodwill, or sometimes unconditional love is another way you could describe metta. Dropping the judgments, dropping the conditions, and just holding the love. Breathing in, I offer unconditional love. Breathing out, I offer goodwill. May I be well, may I be happy. I'd like to ask you to bring to mind the perception of someone else that you find it easy to feel kindness towards. Could be a parent, a relative, a friend, a child, teacher. Choose one person. And breathing in, you offer the loving kindness inwardly, and breathing out, you wish that person well. Breathing in, may I be well, may I be happy. Breathing out, may this person also be well, may they be happy. Breathing in, generating the heart of loving kindness, metta citta. Breathing out, radiating it outwards, sharing it with other beings. Breathing in, may I be well. Breathing out, may this other person be well, may they be happy. Breathing in, may I be well. Breathing out, may this other person be well, may they be happy. And just coming back to the perception of oneself, your own experience. Breathing in, may I be well. Breathing out, may I be happy. So can give a little bit of thought about what it would mean to you personally to be well. For myself, that would mean good mindfulness, clear mindfulness, seeing things with a wise perspective. It might mean good opportunities, various blessings coming into my life to help support my aspiration as a monk. When I wish myself, may I be well, may I be happy, that means may I have contact with my teachers, may I hear good Dhamma, may I have harmony in the monastery, good friends, spiritual friends, good health, various things. So you're wishing yourself with those words, well and happy. What are the good things that you wish for yourself? Breathing in, may I be well. Breathing out, may I be happy. It's just the wish. There's no pressure to make anything happen. It's just that beautiful wish. Just opening the heart with the very best, kind, loving wishes. May I be well. May I be happy. And just do that for a minute or so. Breathing in, may I be well, may good things come into my life and may I take care of my life. Breathing out, may I be happy. And then just being aware that all of the people that came today, must be nearly 100 people, all of them wish to be well, wish to be happy. So we include them now. So breathing in, may I be well, and breathing out, may everybody in this room be well, be happy. Just acknowledging that conscious beings don't want to suffer, would prefer not to suffer. of it all, beings wish to be happy, and unfortunately, because of delusion, people get confused about how to go about being happy. I have some not very wise strategies coming from delusion, but underneath, everybody's trying to fulfill their happiness. So with the metta meditation, you just wish that people may have the causes that result in their happiness. May they have the good opportunities and recognize the good opportunities and use the good opportunities that they have. You wish that for oneself, and you wish it for all beings. So breathing in, may I be well, may I be happy. Breathing out, may everybody here today at the Buddhist Society be well, be happy. Breathing in with loving kindness, may I recognize the good opportunities in my life. Take care of those opportunities, utilize those opportunities, so that I may be happy. Breathing out, may everybody here recognize their good opportunities, utilize their good opportunities, so that they might be happy. We have to work towards our own happiness. We can't depend on others to make us well and happy. We actually have to work quite hard at this contentment, well-being. Breathing in, may I have the energy and inspiration to work towards my wellness. Breathing out, may everybody here have the energy and inspiration, the focus to work towards their wellness, their happiness. Breathing in, may I be well and happy. And breathing out, may everybody here today be well, be happy. And then just going back to oneself, breathing in, may I be well, breathing out, may I be happy for a minute or so. And then just coming back to the breath awareness. Many people find that having spread metta for some time, it's then easier to be with the breath. Some suppleness in the mind and more well-being in the mind, so it's easier to be in the present moment. We're just aware of those feelings, beginning, middle and end of an in-breath, But. Beginning and middle and end of an out-breath, Do. Just aware of the physical feelings of one in-breath, aware of the physical feelings of one out-breath. Breathing in, But. Breathing out, Do.